go talk to Vigo.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. Because he's not going to be able to work in Ontario today after holding the Canadian flags like that. So he's going to come to Quebec for sure.
Are you a Habs fan or are you a...
What do you think? I'm a disgusted Ab fan right now, but you can't, one season after the other.
Well, there are some things for celebration tonight.
Tonight we're going to forget about the Abs and think about, we're surprised, actually. We thought it was amazing competition this year, and just before I said to Luke, this is going, many ways tonight. We don't know, and it might be spread all over. And to win so many, it's quite surprising. It's very heartwarming, and I'm especially happy for young Sophie Nellis. She's 11. She did a great job, and I was so nervous for her. It's not that I don't like my own Genie, but it's I have had my run with festivals. I feel I've had the tap on the back. Now this young girl who's amazing. I was living it through her eyes. So that's what for me was the highlight of the evening.
One question I had about Lazare is you called it your most focused film, and it had maybe less of the. It was last night, and you said I think like hair sticking out.
Yeah.
Could you expand on that a bit more?
Well, when you're younger, you want to show in the film that you can do everything. You can do anything with the camera. You can, you want to express a lot of things at the same time. And I think I just left. I filmed soberly, just what was necessary. It is still hard work to do that, to do a sober film. And I didn't want to show all of the good scenes. I took the scenes out that were not necessary, and I just stick with the emotional curve of the film, and I think it works pretty well. Is it my favorite one? Probably not. I like all of them. I have a soft spot for It's Not Me, I Swear, the one before. Is it? Can I understand that it's the one that pleases the crowd the most? Yes, I can understand why. And there is there's a lesson there, because when I finished the film, I thought, okay, this is intimate. This is a small film. This is gonna go in theaters for 3 weeks, and that's gonna be it. And I was wrong.
Would you say that the focus, I'm thinking especially formally, had something to do with the fact that it was an adaptation of basically a monologue?
No. There was many ways to shoot this, color-wise, camera-wise. I just decided to go like that because I wanted the characters to be the main cinematographic object in this film. And there's a lot of people talking, so you have to know what you're shooting, when, with what lens, what depth of field. You still have to think about it technically. But that's what I said to young people also. When you have a camera, what are you shooting? Don't show me that you can use a crane. What are you looking at? That's the main question you have to ask every time. So I ask myself that for every shot of the film. And I think it succeeded in a way to talk about these characters and the power of words and communication when drama strikes in a school.
As much as it's about the characters, you've also mentioned how interesting it is filming objects. And I wondered if you could talk a bit more about that.
I like that because we are, the objects that surround us define us. When I go if you invite me at your place, I'm going to go to, if you have a bookshelf, I'm going to go to see what you read, what kind of artifacts you have at home. And I think objects makes a film real. I don't need to film them in particular, but they have to be there in the background, in the hands of the people, and not fake things, real things, used things that can talk about the character. And I don't know why I like to film objects. I take some photos, and it's funny. I take more photos of objects and buildings and architecture than people. And in my film, I try to focus on people.
Well, thanks so much, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How does it feel?
It feels pretty fantastic, actually. It was a really good year for Canadian film, and we're in awe of David Cronenberg, and just to be nominated against him in this category was really cool. And Café de Flore was sort of the front leader with 13 nominations, and Dangerous Method had 11. So we thought that you know, they would be spread slightly more evenly. I mean, they won quite a few, but winning all the, I guess, the more important ones is a bit of a surprise for us.
And it's kind of a self-described small film, a kind of focused film. They often aren't rewarded in this way, so it must have been a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, it's really nice. Like, as well, you know, we were thinking of that going to the Oscar with that movie that was like not even $4 million. It's kind of nice to see that you can do something really touching and a very nice production, very well directed with good actors with a small budget. You know? But we have the chance, you know, like how does it feel to be here and to win all those prizes? We have the chance to work with amazing directors, so it's you know, it's their prize as well.
Do you feel working as producers that you're contributing in some way to a major auteur in Canada?
A major auteur?
Yeah, like you're contributing.
Philippe?
Yeah, yeah.
C'est quoi major auteur?
Auteur, c'est un auteur.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely.
Sorry. Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Of course
I mean, Philippe, we've worked on all of Philippe's
Yeah.
films, and they're all different. They all have sort of his, you know, a part of his personality, and I think we're in for another like good group of films from Philippe in the future. We're actually developing a couple with him already, and they're also really different from the previous ones. So just to get that sort of that scope, I think you need to be a pretty major author, like you say.
And-
Yeah, he's brilliant. The thing is, he's brilliant, and he's not trying. Like Philippe is not trying to get. You know, it's my fourth movie, so I want a bigger budget, and I want to have more toys to play with. You know, it's not like that. It's like concentrating on his story. You know?
It's a kind of confidence with that you could do whatever you want without having to kind of follow a specific path. Like you can head in whatever direction. And it sounds great because something like this, even for a talent like Philippe, it has to help. It has to help as far as developing new opportunities to pursue whatever path.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was sort of eye-opening for all of us that that it's probably Philippe's sort of simpler and most sober film to date, and it's the one that's getting him noticed the most, and it's the one that's doing the best business in terms of reaching like the widest audience. The film is doing like incredible business. It's being seen by people a whole lot in Quebec, but in English Canada as well. It's doing really well. In Toronto, it's playing for 5 or 6 weeks, and it's still doing really, really well. So we were all surprised by that, and it's kind of, you know, we're going, oh, okay, it's, you know, it's not about big budgets and pyrotechnics, and it's all about, I think, emotions and depth and content.
Would you say that the content's primarily the kind of cross-boundaries, cross-border story is something that makes it so appealing beyond one specific audience?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Like I guess the fact that it deals with immigration, that
Oh,
it
yeah,
deals
okay,
with
okay.
that because of that content, it has a broader appeal because it's not as so focused on one space.
Yes, definitely. I think it's sort of a one entry point into the film, and the whole context of the class and our relationship with teachers and
And mourning as well,
Yeah.
you know, like everybody almost, yeah, it's sad to say, but almost everybody has to deal with that, you know. And I think that's touching people, and the children are touching people. And I think when Philippe was shooting the movie, he didn't, you know, we stay in this classroom for weeks, you know, and he was really concentrating to have the best from the young actor to touch, because they are touching, and the subject is touching. And we're talking about immigration, education,
Yeah.
mourning, and it's, I think, all those. It's a nice balance between everything, between all those subjects, and we never go, like the music to put like, oh, violent, to say like, oh, this is sad, we're not going there, and plus, the main character, Bashir, is like having like a secret, is the loss of people that he loves, but he will never tell everybody in the class. So I think as a spectator, you know something that other character doesn't know. I think it's helping.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations and thanks so much for talking with us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so Rex,
Great awards.
yeah,
Great awards this year.
what can you tell me about them historically?
Historically, we had a lot of firsts this year. This was the first year Gary Shandling won Best Actor for What Planet Are You From?
Okay. Now you've said a few pieces of trivia tonight, which we appreciate, but
Thank
I
you.
mean, some of them are ringing some bells for me. So this
Right.
one, Gary Shandling, not Canadian. That film did not come out this year. It was also not a Canadian.
Well, it had a
Film.
lot in common with My Stepmother is an Alien, which starred Dan Aykroyd, who I believe is from Canada and pioneered the Crystal Skull vodka, which I thought I saw one of those cases that had the skull in my parents' basement when I was over for dinner a couple of days ago.
Okay, so how is that a point system? Like, does that give the film Canadian points
If
that
a
makes
movie,
it eligible?
I don't really know. I mean, the whole Canadian versus not Canadian thing, I view as a 20th century argument.
Yeah.
So I would say that's you've got a straw man, and you're beating it with a dead horse.
Straw man.
Straw man beating it with dead
Straw
horse. You're beating a straw man with a dead horse,
Okay.
which
I'll
actually
remind-
won a Genie for
That's
best.
right.
No, it won for best animated adapted docudrama, 2013.
2000 next year.
That's my prediction. folks.
Prediction.
That's my prediction, folks. I took a lot of the party drugs before I came here tonight,
So what about tonight's awards? What can you?
and I'm talking about vitamins. By
Yes,
the way.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vitamin water. Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston was in.
She was. Oh, she remember when she won the Genie, and she came out because she had that haircut, the Rachel, and she hit the stage, and the presenter, I believe, was child rapper Shaheem, aka the Rugged Child, sort of an affiliate of Wu-Tang Clan,
Okay.
because he'd been nominated for being in the Waterfalls video by TLC.
But
So he was presenting,
But TLC, not.
and he was
Canadian.
also presenting like a cat presents.
Okay, but okay, so maybe that happened, but maybe it was for another film because.
I'd like to
because-
back up for a second. Just definitely that happened.
Okay, yeah, okay, it definitely happened.
Thank
but
you.
maybe it wasn't for Waterfalls because Waterfalls is a music video. TLC.
I'm
were
sure there's also a
American.
Canadian movie called Waterfalls, if we're going to go down that route.
Oh, so you think you just confused the title?
No. I'm just saying that as an aside.
Oh,
There's also
perhaps.
for sure a Canadian movie called Waterfalls. I remember I saw a movie called Kitchen Party at one time.
okay. Did it win or?
I
you
think
just
it's Canadian.
You saw it.
Les Boys,
Yeah,
Canadian.
but did it win or are you just saying?
Not
you've seen it?
sure. I'm talking about the Genies here.
Okay.
We all remember the year Schindler's List won all the Genies, swept the awards. That red coat haunted all of our hearts.
But that was not. That was like just objectively not Canadian.
No, it was.
I think you may be thinking of the Oscars. Maybe it may be thinking of the Oscars.
Anything's possible.
Let's go back.
I invented that phrase. That's a website I just bought the domain name of. Pennything's possible.
And what does the P stand for?
I just hilariously sort of switch everything around. And there we've got it. I've got a podcast. It's
Oh.
called everythinggenie.com, the podcast.ca.
Okay, so it's .com
Yeah.
/
Podcast.ca.
.ca.
It's a part of the BBS system on the AOL network.
BBS.
And then because of that, the first episode's about You've Got Mail.
You've Got Mail, the remake of Shop Around the Corner.
Little Shop of Horrors? Really? That
No,
was a
no, no.
remake of Little Shop of Horrors?
No.
Oh, do you remember? Remember that year where they did the entire Genies Up like the Little Shop of Horrors store?
No.
And
what
everybody
year?
could go in there. There were plants everywhere. That was
what
a
year was
great
that?
year.
9?
Nine,
9.
I don't want to answer that one.
Okay. But,
9.
like, was there a Canadian aspect to that? Was like maybe the writer or set director Canadian?
I think the aspect ratio they used was the Canadian
Oh,
aspect ratio.
1.55.
Right, as opposed to the American aspect ratio.
1.85.
3.24.
Oh.
And yeah, I'm trying to think of any more. What was your favorite Genie's credits?
Credits. Like for the Genie show or like awarding credits?
The end credits.
The end credits.
Yeah. 2000?
I have to admit I'm not a seasoned expert like yourself.
No, I've taken a lot of school
Yeah.
for learning about the Genies.
Sure.
Wasn't it an ironic year when I Dream of Genie won?
I
And then all of the headlines for all the years afterwards in all of the newspapers said, I Dream of Genies?
no. First of all, I don't think I was alive, but second of all, I Dream of Genie.
You missed a swinging time.
So, talk to me about the unexpected moments tonight.
The unexpected moments, which is the fact that I was going to be up there by myself, was the unexpected moment.
I didn't want to lead with that,
I
but
thought I was going to have a co-host. Yeah, I got a call, I think late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, so early in Wednesday morning, saying that, I got a call that I didn't answer. I screened it. I was watching a film and I just turned it off.
what film?
I was watching Starbuck.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I was watching Starbuck, which I loved. And so I just kept ignoring the call. And it was a blocked number. And then it was a text message from the producer of the show, the EP, saying, call me urgent. So I paused the film and I called her. She goes, yeah, Andrea Martin is out. And I went, what are you talking about? I thought she was joking, right? Because it's a girl called Claire Adams who helped launch the TV show I do. So she was part of the family that started the show. Huge part of it. I thought she was just having fun.
Yeah.
Because we always play practical jokes on each other. And then she's like, no, she's out. Here's why. And I knew that Andrea was up for, this series. I didn't know that the network was not going to give her a choice.
Oh.
The network in the States.
Yeah.
So she had to go. And I understand that. This business, this is how it works. So I kind of went, okay, well, let's just do this then. So we had about 25 hours to redo the entire show, which I thought was kind of cool.
Well, what about Vigo's Pledge of Allegiance that happened?
Vigo's the real deal, man. Vigo is the real deal. There are, when you write books about the personalities of Hollywood, there's nobody like him. He's the real deal. Love him.
Do you think there'll be a chapter on the Habs in that book?
I bet you the whole thing will be about the Habs. We bond over that.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, whenever we see each other, we talk Montreal Canadiens first. We do the hello, how are you? And then we go straight to hockey talk.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And how did your opinions differ on that?
And we agree we're both Habs fans, so it's massive for us.
There's nothing like...
No, we both know that the team blows this year, and we just have to sit through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else that stood out with you tonight that just kind of caught you off guard or maybe pleasant surprise?
I was really surprised with how smooth it went.
Yeah.
How smoothly it all went. Yeah. I mean, I knew the team could pull it off, but the gods, whomever they are, they don't give you gifts like this where things work. We weren't heavy, like we weren't overtime. Everything seemed to work.
Yeah.
The jokes got laughs. I didn't know if they would. The mood was really relaxed backstage. I was really in the moment. Like I work really hard these days at just ignoring everything around me and just being in the moment. So if the show, if the host pulls out last minute, it's kind of like it's sad because I wanted to be on stage with Andrea and do the show with her.
Yeah.
But in a way, it's a gift, because if you do this long enough, right, you just, okay, here's what we got to do to make a show. We do this, then we do this, then we do this. And then it's about just pushing the boulder up the hill. But when it goes on two wheels right away,
Yeah.
you actually get an opportunity to be in the moment. Like really, truly be in the moment and experience things differently than you would otherwise, right? And if you do it enough, some of this, the hosting abilities become second nature. This forces you to be in a different headspace.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that. I was really comfortable up there on stage today. I genuinely enjoyed it.
Was there a moment that you enjoyed that you maybe wouldn't have if it wasn't going so smoothly? Like where you were able to just step outside and enjoy it?
Had it not been going so smoothly?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, there was a moment when Kanon finished performing where there was some concern that by the time he was done and that tape pack that ran, that they wouldn't have enough stuff off stage yet.
Okay.
So I would just have to fill, and this hand does this. When the floor director does that, it means keep talking. So there's your moment before you go on the air and you're wondering, okay, Am I gonna have to get the fill? And the fill was only like 5 seconds, so it was easy peasy. But in that moment, that's when you have to really step in.
Yeah.
You know?
What would you have done if it was longer?
Just talk.
Yeah?
I don't know, man. You just go out there, and if you're fearless, which I am, but moreover, if you're reckless, which I really am, you just let it happen. And it doesn't always work, but I don't judge the success of a show if every idea worked.
No.
No, I don't care, man. I mean, if you do the prep right, and you respect the films enough to see them, and you respect the audience enough to work at it, that's the win. In execution, doing the show, you hope it goes as planned.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, who cares? You did your part.
Yeah.
You tried your best, right? So I would have enjoyed it. You know, a little bit of a car crash on TV is not always a bad thing.
Oh no, we go off the rails as much as possible.
Truthfully, it happens, right? You know.
Well, I was getting the opposite of this. I was getting this sign. So.
Want to ask another question? Ask another question.
What was
Make
your,
them come tackle us.
What was your favorite film this year, Canadian?
I think it's not my favorite film because I don't know if I can say that because the three best that I've seen were three that were nominated tonight. Café de Flore really resonated with me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because I'm at my age or whatever, but I got it. You know, there's something about the way Jean-Marc Vallée tells stories that are kind of overwhelming. But Monsieur Lazare, I mean, think about it, man. Kids
Yeah.
acting out of tragedy, a colossal tragedy. And the dynamic between the teacher and the other teacher, the teacher and his own memory, the teacher, the flag character, right, and the immigration board, then the little girl who won tonight and her relationship with the teacher, the little girl and her relationship with the other little boy. Like, there's so much going on in that film, and it worked, and you would well up a lot, but you got laughs, right?
Yeah.
That's really hard to do, really hard to do. And I was saying before that if Starbuck was made in America, it would be
it would be gigantic.
It would be a Rob Schneider film.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
It
I
would
was
be
thinking-
it would be super famous for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But it would also be made as a comedy, strictly as a comedy. They actually made a movie about a guy who donated sperm incessantly
Yeah.
at a sperm bank, and it was heartwarming.
Yeah.
He had 533 kids, and it was a heartwarming and at times heartbreaking film. That's out of this world.
I think it's because it's from Quebec that it was able to balance those things.
Well, I think because it's Quebec, there's a system in place that supports that kind of filmmaking. But I think Ontario filmmakers could make that. I think Albertan filmmakers, like Michael Dowse, right, made Goon.
Yeah.
Montreal guy, played football for the University of Calgary. I think he was a dino in college football. Fubar,
Yep.
you know, made a really good film this year.
Yeah.
Goon's a really cool film.
Oh, it's incredible.
Made a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So that the Afghan Luke movie made by Mike Clattenburg, really good film. And when you find out that wasn't even filmed overseas,
Yeah.
incredible what he pulled off. Like, English filmmakers are making them as well. In Quebec, they have a really great infrastructure in place to promote them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for giving us your time.
Good to see you, but I hope it's all right.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.